Cutting-edge waste treatment and disposal with the latest technology, environmentally conscious and economically sound. This is the OVVD, with waste treatment plants in Stralsund and at the main site in Rosenau. Built to the highest and most up-to-date standards in 1996, the plants now treat and dispose of household waste from 740,000 people. What started with just 2 members of staff quickly grew into a company with 100 employees. A success story that already drew the attention of Angela Merkel, now Germany's Chancellor, when she was the Federal Environment Minister. The domestic and bulky waste is collected regularly and taken to the nearest transfer station. In the 3 administrative districts the OVVD serves, there are 5 such transfer stations, for example in Deponie. Here the waste is emptied into deep bunkers and hydraulically compacted. Just one of many compression technologies. In the transfer station in Freidorf, for example, the waste is placed in open swap containers. Then, in containers with a capacity of up to 10 tons, the waste is transported to Rosenau. Using modern measurement technology, the waste is weighed before delivery. Just a few meters away, small amounts of waste can be dropped off by the public, separated by type. In the hall next to the container hub, the processing of the waste begins. The OVVD operates the mechanical biological plant together with its partners Raymondis and Nielsen. A grab crane carries the waste into a modern shredder. The crushing process makes it easier to separate the waste afterwards. This is done in the adjacent sorting plant. Wood, metal and alternative fuels, 50% of the waste, are sieved out for further utilization. Plastics are separated with the aid of infrared sensors and compressed air. The organic waste left over from the sorting process goes to the adjoining intensive composting hall. But first, water is added to the so-called composting material. An automatic conveyor belt delivers the waste into one of the 18 composting tunnels. Each one can hold up to 400 tons. Good ventilation and irrigation are crucial for the biodegradation process that follows, which is similar to that of a compost heap. In the control room, all of the technological processes are monitored. With the help of automated systems, the composting material is transferred from one tunnel into another, being loosened and aerated in the process. The waste stays in the intensive composter for 3 weeks. During this time, microorganisms break down the biological components which make up about half of our household waste. The composting material is reduced by 15%. The waste is then sent for further treatment into the post-composting hall. The OVVD uses 4 of the intensive composting tunnels in Rosenau for the production of biofuel. The organic material is dried in the tunnels until the moisture content falls below 20%. A decompactor loosens the material before it is sorted according to size. Then, on so-called separating tables, stones and glass, for example, are sieved out, as these materials are not suitable as fuel and could hinder the process in the biofuel plant later on. The dust produced during sieving is extracted and compressed into briquettes. They can also be used as fuel. Briquettes, medium and coarse material from the biofuel production, as well as materials with high calorific value that are sorted out in large quantities at the beginning of the treatment process, are taken to the combined heat and power plant at Staffenhagen. The heat and energy produced are used by a nearby production facility for potato products. Wood waste separated by the OVVD is taken to the combined power plant at Malkin. Back in Rosenau, the material from the intensive composting process has been heaped up in the post-composting hall in triangular windrows. Here it is regularly loosened, aerated and watered for 5 weeks. After a total of 2 months in the mechanical biological treatment plant, the original amount of waste is reduced by approximately half. Before the material can be deposited, it is analysed in the OVVD laboratory. Bulldozers then distribute the material on the landfill surface. Vibrating single drum rollers, weighing 26 tons, compress the waste. Rainwater seeping through the landfill that could dissolve and release pollutants is collected and removed. That way it cannot reach the groundwater. The collected water goes through the on-site wastewater treatment plant that operates on the basis of reverse osmosis technology. The system has been further optimized by an additional filtration phase. Once cleaned, the water is used to irrigate the composting material in the mechanical biological treatment process. The gas formed in the landfill is extracted and collected in one of 7 gas stations. Gas levels are regularly measured and recorded. The in-house combined heat and power plant uses 2 petrol engines to convert the gas into electricity and heat energy. Both are used to supply the plant's requirements. A photovoltaic system on the roof of the post-composting hall provides additional electricity. Through the optimum use of all energy sources, the OVVD generates 75% of its energy requirements itself. Further photovoltaic systems on the site are possible. The OVVD is constantly optimizing its operations. Cleaning the composting tunnel, for example, used to take a great deal of employee time to complete. Now, the cleaning of the important ventilation holes is done by the air-jet pipe. Like a caterpillar, the device moves along inside the ventilation system and flushes out the clogged nozzles with high-pressure water. The OVVD is constantly striving to develop new areas of business and to increase efficiency. Tests for the landfilling of slags and filter dust on the northern polder are just one example. In addition to the Stabilat solid waste site, further expansion of the landfill area is also planned. This animation shows how the polder could develop in the coming decades, securing the site and its economic viability in the future. Here, the landfill blends harmoniously into the surrounding area. The effects of the landfill construction are minimized and balanced out, in constant harmony with agriculture and environmental protection. Environmentally conscious and economically sound. This is the motto of the Ostmecklenburgisch Vorpommerschen Verwertungs- und Deponie GmbH, the OVVD.